Auntie Ethel is behind us now, but the grove is still a battlefield in slow motion. Every smile here has an edge. Every favor has a price. And I'm not leaving with unanswered questions.
Looking for steel? I have, well, something close.
That forge is holding on by a thread. Are you a smith?
Of sorts. Used to be a bread and butter tinsmith before Elturel fell into Avernus. These days my talents are more eclectic. Learned a lot in my time in the Hells. Hope to forget most of it. But between you and me, there's nothing in all the realms like the utter power of infernal machinery. Alas, my offerings are far more humble these days.
Okay. Let me see your wares. Dammon's stall looked like a quiet stop. A breath between problems. Steel on the racks. Good work. The kind that makes a soldier think of tomorrow. I check my coin. Light. Nowhere near the comfort of a full purse. So before I reach for anything, I start thinking like a quartermaster. What can be traded? What can be spared? What do we need more than we want? My eyes land on a clean crossbow. Rune work in the limbs. Tension that feels like it would hold true in the rain. I want it. I can feel it in my hand before I even touch it. And then the sting. It isn't meant for my training. Not the way I fight. A fine tool. Just not one I can make sing. Well, if I can't arm myself, I'll arm Asterion. I find a hunter's bow. Balanced. Hungry. The kind made for stalking beasts that should not exist. A weapon with a talent for monsters. And a whisper of magic that can mark prey and keep it from running far. But Dammon's price is a wall. Even with his small mercy on the count. And I can feel him watching. Neutral. Not kind. Not cruel. Just business. So I stop my hand. I do not buy. Not yet. I take stock of our pack. I measure need against survival. Because that's the real fight at this counter. Not steel against steel. Coin against time. I'm standing before a stone door that looks like it was built to keep a war out. Not a conversation. And the air feels heavier here, like the camp itself is holding its breath. Zevlor is supposed to be beyond this threshold, the one everyone looks to when the fear starts to show. So I've come to hear it from his own mouth, what he thinks, what he knows, and what he expects from me. Because that's the question, isn't it? Expectation. Everyone has a plan for my steps. Everyone has a cause they need me to carry. But I'm not here to be sworn into a war I don't understand. I rest my hand against the cold stone and weigh the roads in my mind. A quick visit to Auntie Ethel. If her rumors are true, she may know more than she should. Or Helson. If he can be found, if he really holds the kind of answers people pray for. But first, Zevlor. I'll let him speak. I'll let the situation show its true face. And then I decide whether I walk with him or whether I walk my own line.
You're the one who helped at the gate. Glad to have another sword. We might need it.
I heard what happened. Thank you for protecting the child. If the druids are this far gone, then it's not just goblins we have to fear. So we can risk violence here, or face it for certain on the road. Quite the choice, isn't it?
Well, can you delay the ritual?
You saw what they were willing to do to a child just for trying. It's Korga's influence. Without her twisting things, I believe the druids might see sense.
Then why don't you just get rid of her?
A low thought. But I'd be lying if I said I hadn't considered it. But the druids would slaughter us. We'd have to get close to Korga, within striking distance. I can't manage that. But they've already let you pass once.
No. I'm not some murderer for hire.
It doesn't sit well with me either. But to get these people to safety, there's nothing I won't do. You'd be well rewarded for the risk. But if that won't sway you, there's nothing more to discuss.
No, sir. But if there's a clear path past those goblins, they'll find it.
Yes, of course.
I did not come to Zevlor for a speech. I came to measure the man, and the meeting was short. He is ready to do whatever it takes to protect his people, even if it means putting a knife in someone's shadow. But he does not have the hands for it. Not alone. So once again, the ask falls on me. Because I've been allowed past the thorns, because I've spoken to Kaga, because I can walk where others can't. And I do not like it. This grove was not built for a crowd. You can feel it in the food stores, in the tired eyes, in the way every small need turns into an argument. The Druids are not saints, but this is their home, their rituals, their way of life. And the longer the tieflings stay, the more the air turns sour, like a storm that won't break. Do I trust Kaga? No. What she did to that child, I won't excuse. Not ever. But an assassination in the middle of a powder keg is not a solution. It's a spark. Zevlor wants me to choose a side, to make this simple, hero or villain. But I've seen enough to know this grove is a knot, not a storybook. So I leave his chambers with my hands clean, for now. No oath, no dagger work, no blood paid in someone else's name. If this ends, it ends with truth, or with a path forward, not with a body on the floor.
Please, I've been through enough.
Before I leave this grove, I want to know it, all of it. Every path, every ledge, every corner that looks like it hides a story. So I turn west, to a quiet edge of stone and root, where the light falls different. For a heartbeat, it looks like an opening, like a way through if you know how to climb. I spot a figure above.
Used to think the goblins would kill us the second we set foot outside. But after hearing what you did at the gate, well, I still think they'll kill us. But at least we can put up a fight.
Will you? I don't see many soldiers.
We're tougher than we look. We've survived persecution, survived Avernus. Who knows? Some of us might even make it to Baldur's Gate.
Oh, and if you survive the hells, you'll survive this?
There's optimism, and then there's stupid, hun. Plenty of us fell to monsters already. I don't see the rest of us lasting long out there. But if you're so sure we will, why not put a little gold on the line?
And how are you gonna take my gold if you're dead?
Oh, I'm sure you're good for it. Just leave the gold on my corpse. After seeing you at the gate, I'm sure you'll last longer than us.
All right. You know what? You're on. 10 gold pieces.
Excellent. And since I ain't one to leave a debt unpaid, that means we're destined to meet in Baldur's Gate. Looking forward to it.
Lacrissa. Tiefling. Watching from her perch like she owns the sky. I try to reach her. Step, jump, angle the path. Nothing. She may as well be on a balcony in Baldur's Gate already. And then her voice finds me anyway. Sharp, quick, full of teeth. The kind of confidence you don't fake when you've seen fire and lived. She talks like survival is a game she knows how to win. And she turns it into a wager. 10 gold. A promise made like a laugh. Collected later in Baldur's Gate. I should walk away. Coin is scarce, and my troubles are not the kind you bet on. But sometimes you take the small human moments where you can find them. Something light in a place that feels ready to break. So I play along. 10 gold paid, and her smile carries the rest of the story. She says she'll find me in Baldur's Gate to collect. We will see. For now, I note her name, and I keep moving. The grove still has shadows I haven't looked into yet.
And we'll have a dog, right?
They don't allow them in Baldur's Gate. Cats, though?
A little orange cat. And a house with a little door so that it can come and go as it pleases.
And a high fence to keep eavesdroppers out.
All right. Don't mind me. I was just passing through.
No bother. We're just daydreaming anyhow.
What about you? Big plans for when you get to the city?
Plans? Just surviving the journey is ambitious enough already.
Luck's been on our side this far. No reason to think it'll run out now.
Optimism, my friend. Try it out.
Goblins, druids. This grove is a death trap. Grab what you can and get out. That's my advice.
I arrive at the makeshift prison, and the air is taut like a drawn string. A goblin called Saza, caged and grinning like she thinks this is still her game.
You ain't gonna shoot me. Your hands are shaking.
Put it down. She can't fight back.
That's the point. Get out of the way!
She didn't kill your brother, Arca. You're better than this.
Shoot before you lose your nerve, Tiefling. If you ever had it to begin with.
This Saza hears all of it and laughs. She prods the wound, mocks the hand on the trigger, dares her to do it, like mercy is a weakness and pain is a joke. I am given words to throw into the fire, or a body to place between bolt and blood, and I choose neither. I have seen what these goblins bring to the world. I've fought them at the gates, and I know how close death can breathe without warning. If Shadowheart had not stood with me, I would not be standing here now. So I keep my hands to myself. I let the grove settle its own score, and I watch, silent, as the next moment decides what kind of place this really is.
Doesn't even matter if you kill me. I'm chosen by the absolute I am. I'm blessed.
Here it comes, you little beast.
I feel the weight of my silence, and it scrapes against my oath. Helm teaches vigilance, and the worth of a life is not a small thing. Withers asked me that once, and I did not hesitate. A life is worth everything. So why do I stand here? Why did I stand still and let the bolt hover in the air? Because mercy without judgment can become a knife turned inward. I have seen what these goblins do when they hold power. They do not spare. They do not regret. They laugh while they burn the world. And I cannot shake the feeling that this one and her kind are tangled in something darker, something that reaches beyond this grove. If I'm wrong, then may Helm judge me for it. But if I'm right, then one small act of softness here may cost many more lives later. I did not lift the weapon against a helpless prisoner, but I will not offer my throat to save a creature that would gladly cut it. This is not clean. This is not easy. It is a choice I will carry, and if I am to atone, I will do it by guarding the innocent who cannot guard themselves. I turn to the other door. Rusted iron, old as regret. It looks like nothing, like it hasn't been touched in years. I press in close, peering through the bars, expecting eyes, breath, someone left to rot. It appears the cell is empty. No prisoner, no movement, only shadows and stone. And still, the door will not give. Locked hard, frozen shut, like the grove itself does not want that space opened. I call for Asterion. He steps up with his tools and his smirk. Like every lock is a personal insult. He works it. Patient, precise, and then his confidence fades into irritation. Nothing. The metal is too far gone, the mechanism sealed by time, by rust, by some quiet decision made long before we arrived. I exhale and step back. Some doors are not guarded by men or magic. Some are guarded by age, and the hard truth that we cannot take everything we can see. We double back toward the entrance, back where the grove first took measure of us. West of the gates, a narrow path climbs uphill, half hidden, like it does not want to be found. I have learned not to ignore roads like that. They are usually there for a reason.
These tieflings prove fragile. I've a mind to end their misery myself.
Let the goblins kill them. At least they'll enjoy it.
And you deny me the pleasure?
A lookout, a hidden cache, or trouble waiting above the tree line. So before we leave this place behind, I take that rise, step by step, eyes up, hand never far from steel. Whatever is up there, I want to see it first, on my terms. And I catch it before I hear it. The stillness, the way the air turns heavy. 2 tieflings ahead. Heads bowed, shoulders drawn in, like they're holding the world together with their hands. Someone lies on the ground between them, blood spilled out into the dirt. Life gone quiet. No last words, no warning, just the end. I slow my steps, eyes scanning, listening for movement in the tree line. Because death this fresh doesn't happen by accident. Not out here.
Have some respect. This really isn't the time to talk.
He was joking about octa soup just a moment ago.
Come on, Rika.
Now what?
Glad you made it inside. Doubt we'll be safe here for long, though. There'll be more coming. Goblins hunt in packs.
You could hold off a horde of goblins from this position.
Maybe, but we're not fighters. If they broke through, it'd be a massacre. The sooner we leave for Baldur's Gate, the better.
How far are we from the city?
If the road was clear, 10 days walk, maybe? But while the goblins are out there, it might as well be the other side of the world.
Barcelona, Our Lady of Silver. Not now. Please.
I was hoping to find answers. For a name, a track, anything that would tell me what to fear. But the two tieflings give me nothing. No words, no pointed finger, just grief held tight in the throat. I don't press them. Some silences are a wall, and sometimes it's all a person has left.
The squirrel lunges at your foot and bites it.
Oh, that was strange. Why would it do that? I should figure that out.
You follow the squirrel's gaze to a pair of clumsy, ugly feet. Your own, on her territory. Looking around, her territory extends from one end of the grove to another.
Oh, I look back at her and I scold her with a click of my tongue.
She studies you for a moment before twitching her ears. Compromise. After a final squeak of warning, break the rules and there will be trouble, she scurries away.
Oh, what's this? Timber vanishes as quickly as she appeared, but she leaves me a token in the dirt. A hyena ear, dried and patchy, ragged as old leather. Not a threat, not a trap, just something strange and useful. Like the wild is reminding me who really owns these woods. I turn it over in my hand, trying not to think too hard about where it came from. Alchemy will take it, though. 3 of these burn down to ash, and the right mix can buy a burst of impossible speed. The kind of edge you only need when everything goes wrong at once. So I pocketed it, still half laughing. The squirrel drew a border, and then paid a toll in bone and gristle. This land is mad, but I'll take the gift.
That's curious.
I stop at the edge of the world. The sea below is all blue glass and white fury, rocks like ancient bones breaking the surf. For a moment, everything goes quiet inside me, as if the land is reminding me there is still beauty left, even with doom breathing down my neck. A bugbear assassin comes in close, strong enough to hurl a body like a sack of meat, and we are standing one misstep from a long fall and a silent end. So I do what a commander is supposed to do. I change the terms of the fight. No heroics, no showboating, just discipline. First order, back from the edge. We reform on solid ground, where a shove is not a sentence, where footing means something. The bugbear wants panic, wants someone spraying too close. The bugbear wants panic, wants someone straying too close, wants one clean grab and a drop into the sea. I do not give him that story. Helm watches the careful step, not the foolish leap. So we pull back, we set the line, and we make him come through us, on our ground. I take a hard look at what just stepped out of the brush. Not a wandering brute, an ambusher. Broad shoulders, thick arms, and a club built to crush bones in one clean swing. His eyes keep track of us like a predator, like darkness would not slow him down. So there will be no hiding in shadow, no running blind into cover and hoping for mercy. And I can see it in the way he stands. He is waiting for a mistake. Turn your back, break your line, give him a gap, and he will punish it immediately. Worse, he looks like the kind that does not know when to fall, the kind that keeps coming even after you've taught him he shouldn't. Good. Then we don't give him space, we don't give him our sides, and we do not let him pick his moment. We take it from him. Line set, formation clean. Lae'zel takes the front. Steel and fury. The first wall he has to break. Shadowheart holds to her right, close enough to support, far enough to not be dragged into the same grip. I stay back, shoulder to the mountainside, where the stone guards my flank and the drop cannot take me. Asterion falls even farther. High and clear, a straight sight line for every opening this brute gives us. Now we wait for the charge, because he will charge. Bugbears don't ask, they crash. And when he does, Lae'zel meets him head on, Shadowheart shoring the line, keeping the edge out of the fight. And while he is busy trying to break our front, I turn the rear into a firing line, bolts and steel from the back. No mercy, no wasted motion. Pin him, bleed him, and end it before he can turn this cliff into a grave. Before steel meets flesh, I do the one thing a commander cannot skip. I set the tone of the fight. I speak a quick prayer to Helm, not for glory, for steady hands and steadier hearts. A light touches our line. Lae'zel in front, Shadowheart at her side, and me holding the rear. No show, no sermon, just a soldier's blessing, so our strikes land true and our feet don't slip when the brute hits the wall. Shadowheart shifts her footing, shoulders low, eyes locked on the brute. She isn't looking to trade blows. She's looking to end it with the land itself. The bugbear is too close to the drop. One good hit, one clean shove, and the cliff does the rest. I can see Lae'zel does not meet him fair. She sells one strike, then cuts another way, trying to draw his guard high and open his ribs. It's a committed move, all in, because if it lands clean, this brute starts bleeding out immediately. And if it doesn't, then we hold, that we cover her from the rear. She baits him, and when he bites, Lae'zel carves him open with a clean punishment strike. The sound of it is wet, final, the kind of hit that makes even a bugbear hesitate. He staggers, still standing, still dangerous, but not whole anymore. Good. Now he knows this is not a soft target, and this fight is not going his way. Asterion does what he does best. He waits until the brute is reeling, until Lae'zel has his eyes and his anger. Then he puts a shot into the gap she opened. Clean and cruel and perfectly timed. The bugbear sways, breath ragged, fury turned into panic. He's still upright, but only out of stubbornness. One more hit, and this ambush ends here. Oh, the brute swings wild, overconfident, and the blow cuts nothing but air. Lae'zel does not let mistakes go unpunished. She turns his misstep into an opening and strikes back immediately. Lae'zel snaps back like a trap springing shut. She throws a threat and a blade in the same breath, but the brute twists away at the last second. Steel cuts air, no matter. He's staggering, bleeding, barely standing. We stay disciplined. One clean hit, and he goes down. I don't let it drag on. One last opening, one last breath to steal from him. I draw, I exhale, and I put the shot where it ends the argument. The bugbear folds, heavy, final, and the coast goes quiet again. Ambush broken, threat ended. We check our line, count our breaths, and move on, because out here, the next fight is always close. I'm curious to search the body. Quick, I'm practiced. Assassins always carry their truth on them if you know where to look. 2 small vials, poison, the kind meant for quiet kills and panicked deaths. So this was never going to be a fair fight. It was meant to end with someone bleeding in the grass. There's also a little thief's ration and a morning star like my own. Nothing special, just a tool for someone who likes to break bones. We don't need the weight on the road. It goes to camp, and we keep moving. Now we go back to why we stopped here in the first place. The dirt mound, sitting there like a half-buried secret. The bugbear tried to turn it into a grave for us. Didn't work. So I pick up my shovel, step in close, and start digging again. Because whatever someone hid here was important enough to guard with blood, and I intend to find out why. The shovel bites in, and the dirt gives up its secret. 2 healing draughts. Simple mercy in glass. I take those with a grateful nod, because blood is cheap out here and salves never last. And then, something stranger. A pale vial, light in the hand, like it wants to leap on its own. A potion of glorious vaulting. I've heard the tale attached to it, an old story that makes its rounds among travelers. Looper Diddle Swires, a gnomish adventurer, small as a bantam hen, who could spring 20 feet into the air like it was nothing. I turn the bottle so the light catches it, and I can't help but smile. Drink this, and for a little while, your legs forget they are made of bone and earth. Cliffs become steps, gaps become suggestions. I pocket it carefully, not for fun, for survival, because someday soon, a single leap may be the difference between escape and a grave by the sea. I don't leave an ambush unexplained. I track the bugbear's footsteps back up the ridge to where he had the height and the first strike. Predators don't pick a spot like that by accident. They scout it, they learn it, and they usually have a place to disappear to afterwards. A telescope? Up here? Facing the open sky. For a heartbeat, it pulls my eyes away from the earthly mess, like the heavens are calling me to look up and breathe. But then I see the body ahead, blood in the grass, life leaking out, and the moment of wonder turns back into work. I roll the body carefully, expecting the usual: coin, scraps, maybe a letter never sent. Instead, my hand closes around something wrong. A soul coin, cold metal, but it feels like it breathes, like there is a whisper trapped inside it, trying to get out. I freeze for a beat, because I know what this is now. Not guesswork, not rumor. I read it in Nettie's books, in Helsing's hidden shelves, the kind of knowledge people don't share out loud. They are not just coin, they are chains made portable. Worthless to an honest man, priceless to the wrong kind of hands. So why does a corpse out here have one? Who is she running from? And who was she trying to pay? I close my fist around it, and I do not let it touch bare skin any longer. This isn't loot. This is a clue and a warning. Now I turn back to the telescope, wood and brass, weathered, still pointing up like someone refused to stop looking at the sky.
You peer through the telescope.
After blood and cursed coin, it feels strange to touch something meant for wonder. But I need that breath, that reminder that the world is bigger than this ridge and its violence. I lean into the lens, breath held, hand steady. The world narrows to a circle of glass and light. I turn the focus slow, coaxing the distant shape into clarity. Each small adjustment sharpens the edge of it, like pulling a secret out of the haze.
You see a dragon circling like a bird of prey, hunting.
Dragon slips out of view, vanishing beyond the edge of the lens. I swallow and swing the telescope left.
The telescope points to the left.
Trying to catch it again, trying to see what it is stalking down there. and whether that something is moving toward us, too. And all I find is the wreck of that flying beast, broken and silent in the distance. I hold it for a breath, then I pull the telescope back to the right.
The telescope points to the right.
I see it. Rooftops, red tile and broken ridge lines. A cluster of huts huddled together in the distance. Not wild land, not open road. A settlement, or what used to be one. The view is too far to read clean, but the place looks wounded, like something has been through there and left it crooked. I hold the lens a moment longer, trying to decide if it's shelter or a trap with doors. So the telescope was never showing me some far-off village. It was showing me home, from a stranger's lookout, a perfect place for an ambusher to watch who comes and goes.
More goblins. What's next?
Glad you were here for those goblins. Picked one off yesterday myself. Shot her through the throat. Well, that should have killed her, but she kept gasping. Clawing at the arrow.
Taking life always has a cost. You have to feel it, or you'll lose who you are.
I had the same thought. And it's just going to keep happening.
When I walk away, the grove feels quieter, not peaceful, just quiet. And I find myself thinking of her again. That first cut into the soul that never really heals. I feel sorry for her. I do. But I also know what this land does to the unwilling. It does not ask if you are ready. It just demands that you become something harder. So I let the pity sit in my chest, and I keep moving. Because protecting the ones you care for is not clean work. Sometimes it is mercy, and sometimes it is just necessary. And as I turn to leave, something catches my eye. A war horn set within easy reach. Not decoration, not ceremony. A tool for panic and warning. I lift it just enough to feel its weight, and I can almost hear it already, that reverberating wail rolling through the trees like thunder. A sound that says one thing only: they're here.
I feel like we're being watched.
There's still one corner of this grove I haven't put eyes on. A path I noticed earlier, then left behind. So I turn back through the camp, moving quick, not lingering, not looking for conversation. Just rewinding my steps to that ledge where the tiefling's song once carried on the wind. Opposite her perch, a track drops downward, toward the sound of water. A beach maybe, or something hiding beside it. That's where I'm headed next. If this grove has a back door, or a secret exit, I want to know it before someone else uses it. I mean to keep moving, but the ox stops me cold. I remember it from my first steps into the grove, the way it looked at me like it was measuring more than my clothes and weapons. An animal should look through you, or past you. This one feels like it's looking into me. It makes my skin prickle, and I don't ignore instincts like that, not anymore. So I slow, keep my hand relaxed, and study it from a safe distance. Listening, watching, trying to discern what doesn't belong. Because sometimes the strangest thing in a camp is not a monster with teeth. It's the quiet creature that doesn't flinch when it should.
Something's off. This creature isn't what it appears to be.
Moo! Yeah, that ox is wrong. Not sick. Not wild. Wrong like something wearing a skin it did not earn. It watches too clean. Too aware. Like it's counting us instead of fearing us. I don't make a scene here. I mark it. I remember it. And I keep moving. Some secrets are better followed than poked with a blade.
Is someone singing?
Oh, it's beautiful.
We've pushed long enough for one day. The grove is behind us, and the air ahead tastes of salt and open water. Then it hits me again. That song. Beautiful, clear, too perfect for a place this close to blood and trouble. The kind of sound that makes your feet want to walk without thinking. I stop, hard, because I've learned something on this road. When something feels like a gift, it's often a hook. We stand at the edge of that path, just before the shoreline opens up, and I can feel my companions listening, drawn forward, like the world itself is calling us by name. Not today, not when the light is failing and the water hides teeth. We pull back, just enough to breathe. Just enough to ready our hands and our minds. Because next time, we follow that song to its source, and we find out what is waiting for us in the waves. Thank you for watching. Until next week, keep your eyes open and your hand on steel.